Hello everyone! This video is an introductory tutorial and is targeted towards trainers who would like to start doing online training. It highlights the differences between in-house training and online training. Over the last years, more and more companies and individuals are embracing the idea of doing online training. This model fits more seamlessly with their busy day-to-day lives. So what does this vast opportunity mean for you as a trainer? What can you take or transport from your traditional in-house training and use in an online learning environment? How do you make sure you don't throw out the baby with the bathwater? A simple answer is that the learning content remains pretty much the same, but the instruction model is different when you do online training. The learning environment changes from 3D to 2D, creating more liveliness in the conversation and a shift in the distribution of effort between the trainer and the participant. This shift means you can move fluidly into a flipped classroom model. I would now like to walk you step by step through the 3 phases of preparation, giving the lesson, and self-regulated study. These are a part of every lesson, and we'll look at how these 3 phases differ with in-house training and online training, especially in the distribution of labor and of time and effort. Let's look first at how things work when we give lessons in a traditional in-house or classroom environment. When we say lesson, we mean one learning block or module of 40 to 90 minutes duration. Most workshops consist of a series of 6 to 8 learning blocks per day. During the preparation phase, we collect, prioritize, and then choose the content we will be giving during the lesson. Generally, we create our learning content from product documentation, information available on the internet or the company's intranet, or from printed service manuals. The preparation phase results in the various documents: an outline of the learning content, an outline of the methods you will use in group activities, teaching material, such as flip charts or PowerPoint presentations, and printed learning material to distribute during the lesson. The next phase is the lesson itself. Traditionally, this entails a period of instruction, time we need to teach the content we have prepared. The second focus after instruction is to create as much interaction as possible between you and the participants, but also among the participants themselves. Typically, a trainer does this through question and answer sessions, and, if the group knows each other well, through discussion. No matter how poorly or well these discussions go, the burden of the effort remains on the trainer's shoulders during the lesson. We are the instructor, facilitator, and entertainer all in one. The last phase of any lesson is the self-regulated learning phase. The participants are sent home with literature to study and exercises to do. I don't know how it is with you, but the majority of my participants say they do not have the time to do this work, since they go out into the field or they are at their desks the day after the training is over. In summary, let's look at the 3 training phases of in-house training. During the preparation phase, the trainer is solely responsible for preparing content. During the lesson itself, the trainer still does the hero portion of the work. The last phase, the homework or self-regulated study phase, is solely on the side of the participants. That is, if they remain motivated and active in their efforts. Now let's look at how this differs with online training. I mentioned at the beginning of this video that the online learning environment shifts from 3D to 2D. What I mean by this is that when everyone is present on the screen, there is a subtle shift in communication and participation. There are no more back row silent types. There is no more front of the classroom instruction. There is a flat hierarchy in every sense of the word. The challenge as a trainer is to use this to your advantage. This is where the flipped classroom instruction model comes in. First off, it is good to know that most online training sessions have only 1 to 6 people attending, and lessons do not last for more than 90 minutes. The greatest challenge is doing online training is the technology. There can be delays in the audio signal. At other times, the video quality could be poor. This usually means one of 2 things. First, it is not a good environment to watch someone present a 30-minute PowerPoint presentation. If all you want to do is send information and no interaction, then record your video and send it to your participants for them to watch at their own convenience. Secondly, the technology makes it difficult to promote spontaneous conversation. These factors make it necessary for you to prepare for your lesson differently than you do for classroom learning. Not in the choice of topics you are going to handle during the lesson. This process remains the same. The difference is that once you have decided what material is to be covered during the lesson, you pass it on to the participants. I usually write them an email including links or attached files and give them instructions on how to prepare for the next lesson. This puts the burden of preparation and inadvertently the success of the future lesson on all our shoulders. The focus of doing preparation in this way is to create a learning atmosphere where their preparation is incorporated fully into the actual lesson. The online lesson takes place on a screen. As I mentioned before, the absence of physical distance psychologically creates a flat hierarchy in the group dynamic. There is no teacher at the front, slackers in the back mentality. Everyone has equal access to the microphone. Everyone can share content by sharing their screens. We can all present a PowerPoint presentation or share an image or website being discussed. Everyone, including the trainer, uses the chat function throughout the lesson to pose questions and make comments. These visual devices can be used by all, and in the case of the chat area, used at any time throughout the lesson. This creates a possibility to blend the instructional part of a lesson with the interactive group activities. You can decide in the preparation phase what type of group activities is best for which learning content. You can ask one or more participants to prepare an explanation, or tell them that they are to lead a discussion or give a presentation. It is also fun to occasionally make them do quizzes or games during a lesson. The main point is to involve them the whole time. During the last phase of training, the self-regulated phase, it's possible to increase their product knowledge, put in cycles of repetitive learning, both deepen and broaden the topics of discussion. This phase is a repeat of the preparation phase. In contrast to the self-regulated study phase of in-house training, the participants can do their further learning together with their work buddies or in small groups. Participant interaction can continue and should be encouraged outside of the lesson. Let's look at the distribution of time and effort for online training. It is one that easily facilitates the flipped classroom instruction model, which means everyone has to prepare the lesson. The students are encouraged to be the main participators during the lesson, and there is no difference between the self-regulated phase and the preparation phase. This doesn't mean we think online training is the be-all and end-all of training. Our motivation for making this video was to show you that even though there are differences between the two learning environments, it's not rocket science. Some people enjoy meeting face-to-face and in real life, while others stay motivated over a longer period of time because of the convenience of meeting online. Obviously, your students can learn as effectively in a classroom situation as they can online. Since there are more and more customers wanting to do online training, this is a vast market you can tap into. Being a successful trainer online depends on your approach, being a facilitator more than an instructor. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you wish to contact Leah directly about our training program, please send an email to info@leahhadley.com.